So another big role of local government is city planning. So most cities have a planning agency with a planning commission and staff. Most federal grants and loan programs, so money that comes from the federal government and is granted or loaned to city governments, require some kind of master plan for future growth. City zoning is another big part of local government. So, zoning is the practice of dividing a city into districts and regulating property uses. The three uses are generally residential, commercial, and industrial. Each zone can be further subdivided. Residential zones may be subdivided into single family, two family, or multifamily units. And then zoning may also determine height and area limits for buildings. So I know there is a height limit, especially for buildings in Washington, D.C., which is why the Washington Monument is the tallest building, or tallest structure, I should say. Municipal responsibilities, so another unit of local government, include public utilities, parks and recreation, sanitation, public housing, building codes, police and fire protection, infrastructure and maintenance, and public health. So you can see here state and local spending, so where those municipalities are responsible and where their spending is going. And I thought kind of probably most interestingly, most of state and local spending goes to education, so our public schools. Local governments vary in the amount and types of services they offer. So this could be due to physical geography, agricultural resources, and proximity to transportation networks and major markets, etc. And we're pretty lucky here in Fairfax County. We have, a lot of services, a lot of government services, because we are in a suburban and area very close to a major metropolitan area. Okay, so revenue for local governments, where can it come from? States cannot raise revenue from certain things. So interstate or foreign commerce, remember that is left to the federal government. It cannot raise revenue from the federal government and its agencies. Any unfairly imposed or administered tax, taxes that require confiscated property, taxes that are imposed for non-public purposes. So the principles of taxation at the local level, subjects contribute in proportion to their abilities. Taxes are certain and not arbitrary. Taxes are levied at a time and in a manner convenient to the contributor, and taxes should not take more money from the people than government needs. So anyone that filed their taxes for 2019, you probably noticed you filed federal taxes and state taxes. And I think it's pretty common that the state taxes are generally much, much less than federal taxes. And here again, you can see the sources of local revenue. So where states and local governments make their money. And sales tax is a big one. The federal government, again, grants and loans come from the federal government. So those are the two highest areas of sources of revenue for local governments. And then there is a budgeting process, very much like the federal government's budgeting process. Every agency prepares estimates of its needs for the upcoming year. These estimates will be reviewed by an executive budget agency. The estimates are then revised with supporting information presented as the governor's budget. The budget is considered part by part. Funds are appropriated, meaning distributed, and revenue measures are passed by the state legislature. The governor supervises the execution of the approved budget. Okay, and then an independent auditor will check the budget spending. So a little bit more, checking than the federal government, these state government budgets. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I know it was quick and brief, and I look forward to you doing a little more research on some of our state and local leaders.